Yo, I'm trying to figure this out too. Stop. Okay. All right. Well, now
I
that
didn't pause it though. You did it.
I know, because I had to pause it because she kept asking. Thank you for listening and watching to your favorite podcast. This is your favorite podcast, the Maximum Filipino Show. And this time, we're doing Afterflicks for Disney original series What If episode 8. The 9. Episode 9. The last episode that we know of. I think it is. It gotta be. Of What If. A lot of things that happen. I say this all the time. But it's very exciting. If you haven't seen the episode yet, and you care about spoiler, just a PSA: do not watch this podcast. As much as we want you to watch this podcast, don't. Go watch the episode and then come back. We're still gonna be here. If you've seen the episode and or you don't care about the spoilers, then join us and let's talk about virtually this last episode of What If.
What if?
So I remember when Disney and Marvel announced that there's gonna be a series called What If. There's a lot of speculation on what's gonna be this episode. Do you remember what's your speculation?
I thought.
What was your
expectation? I didn't get any information, or I didn't watch any previews or anything like that. When I saw the word "What If," I just thought it was going to be behind the scenes of Marvel and stuff like that.
Which is it's crazy because there aren't any previews.
Well, what I mean, like, there was no talk about it. There was no this or that. I mean, the only time I heard this when you said it.
I'm talking about at all.
Like no trailers, no teasers.
No trailers, no teasers, no nothing.
Interesting.
And I mean, I don't even think there was a teaser for WandaVision, and all that. You know what I mean? So this one, the other Disney Plus original series, we kind of have an idea what's gonna happen. Like WandaVision, of course, it's WandaVision, and it's in the title itself. The Falcon and Winter Soldier. We know that's what's gonna take place.
Right.
And then Loki, of course, it's Loki, and a lot of people had a bad idea about that. Like, let's just kill him off, but it turned out to be good. And then we have What If. My first impression about it was I thought it would be more. It goes along with what happened in this show, where they try to come up with things like alternate alternate endings. It's more like an alternate endings than alternate story. I guess a little bit of both. Of the Avengers, of every characters, but the only thing that I didn't know was how they all connected everything, which is in this episode.
Yeah, they did on this episode, and I thought what's his name was gonna play a much more
bigger role.
Bigger role, but he wasn't even there.
The Watcher.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, he was there. All he did was recruit and then disappeared and let the fight happen. But
he's like the director, director Fury of of What If.
But this was an interesting alternative of the Ultron Avengers movie, because it had bits and pieces of heroes from different universe. So instead of Guardians of the Galaxy, it was the Guardians of the Multiverse. Was it the Multiverse? That's what they were called?
Yeah, Guardians of the Multiverse.
And even which I don't like the concept of grabbing an enemy to be part of your heroic lineup. It was interesting.
Oh, you're talking about Killmonger? How Killmonger is going to be there. But because he is a Watcher, we kind of have an idea that that's part of his plan.
Okay, so how many of those characters were there? So you had Thor, you had...
Yep. You have Gamora. You have T'Challa as the
Star-Lord,
Killmonger. Shoot, who else?
Who was there? We had Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. That's right.
And then she came right at the last minute of the fray.
Scarlett Johansson.
And then we had. Was it just 6? I feel like there was one more.
Captain Carter.
Yes, Captain Carter.
Yeah.
So
it's just 6.
What's her name? She's just jumped in the fray.
Okay, hold on. Let's do it again.
Okay.
So you have Captain Carter.
Let's start with that.
T'Challa,
Mm-hmm.
Killmonger,
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange, Gamora.
Yes.
And who's the 6th one?
Black Widow.
No, except her.
Oh, it was Thor.
That's right. Okay, makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then Scarlett Johansson came, or the Black Witch.
Black Widow.
The Black Widow.
Black Widow.
But okay, so my point is there's 7 universes that he chose among the multiverse. I mean, there's so many out there, and Killmonger, he could have chosen Captain Marvel. She played a role, but yet she wasn't chosen for this last final fight.
Yeah, because the ending of that. No, hold up. I don't think she showed up in Killmonger's episode.
No,
yeah. So no, because they're trying to pick up in every episode, in every universe.
Oh yeah, it's just that I'm just expanding.
Like who could you pick in that?
In Killmonger?
Yeah.
In the Killmonger episode?
It can be Shuri.
Who else was no, there was like really no one there.
And this is why I think it with planned, because with what happened in the ending when Doctor Strange put him in the lock, in the prism,
mm-hmm.
with him and Ultron. I think that's the whole plan is. Well, it's not really Ultron, it's Dr. Zola.
So Watcher knew what was coming, but he just played it to happen.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because he did mention it. Because when they came to the very end of the episode, Doctor Strange said, "You knew this was gonna happen, didn't you?"
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about some of the things that we noticed, and let's talk about that. Of course, if you're watching this, we're gonna miss a lot of things that we're gonna talk about. We're not too well versed about the comic books, and we know the characters based on the MCU.
Yes.
And we try to pay attention to small details and here and there, but we're probably gonna miss some of them. That's why you're here, to tell us what we miss. First of all, the first thing that it's gonna be the greatest question of this whole episode is we have one of the people that they recruited is Gamora.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Gamora Gamora in a Thanos suit with a Thanos blade or sword.
Yeah, double sword, dual sword.
Dual connected sword. Darth Maul sword.
Basically the sword that he used in Endgame.
Yeah. So according to, I looked it up because while we're watching it, I typically do not, when I watch interesting shows or shows that I want to do in Afterflicks and want to pay attention to details, I typically don't say anything and I don't talk. But in this episode, it kind of threw me off because I knew there's gonna be a Gamora in a Thanos suit based on the intro. Based on the intro, we see in one of those prisms that there's a Gamora in a Thanos suit, but we've never seen the episode. So I was like, there's gotta be an episode. And then we both looking at each other, it's like, did we miss an episode? There's no way. So we went back and tried to look at all the episodes. We didn't miss anything.
Yep.
But there's still that.
You were trying to figure out if there was an episode, where was she played? Is that what you were thinking that day too?
No, like if there's any episode at all, because that's a main character,
right?
And it's not just that, because there's an alive Iron Man, because in all Iron Mans that showed up in every episode, so what if he's always dead?
Yep.
So there's no way that there will be an Iron Man alive in there. So I looked it up. I googled it. I DuckDuckGo it or Bing Yahoo it, and I found out that What If got picked up in season 2, and she's gonna be in one of those episodes of Gamora's Thanos. And I think it's because he says she survived. She's a survivor of Sakaar, which Sakaar is not her world. Sakaar is where the Grandmaster was from.
Oh,
Yeah, that was Sakaar.
interesting.
That's hence why Iron Man's Hulkbuster suit is in those colorful paintings around him from that culture of Sakaar.
Because he somehow ended up there in Sakaar?
Yeah, that is the what if with them, that they are in Sakaar. So I'm assuming
Interesting.
since Gamora is in the Thanos suit, Thanos died. That's what that's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing.
I'm happy they're going to do a season 2. Because like I just mentioned, there's multiverses. There's going to be more what ifs. So what would be the next danger? You know, Ultron being in his Vision body, that was a big what if, and him him losing in this battle. Okay, maybe I'm just jumping myself too much. Okay, what else do you got going on?
No, you can dive into that.
No, because I don't want to pause and think. So you got a point. Let me think about what I was going to say before I continue on.
Oh, because I'm gonna go to a different thing about it. That's just basically it. With he caught us all off guard on how. I mean, I don't know why they didn't make an episode of her. I feel like there's supposed to be an episode of Gamora.
Yeah.
In that whole what if, but they just didn't do it.
Yeah, because
it should have been a 10 episode show.
Right. It was a big hook. You're right. I was like, wait, huh? Because we legitimately just paused the show. I was like, did we miss something? Like I know he said that earlier. It's just
I had to pause. Because someone, while we're watching it, is like, did we miss something? What is going on? I'm like, yo, I'm trying to figure this out too. Stop. Okay, all right. Well, now
I didn't pause it though. You did it.
I know, because I had to pause it because she kept asking me, why is she there? What is going on? Like, did we miss an episode? So I was like, I'm trying to think and then trying to figure out after I watch the episode, because I want to focus in this episode. And then after that, we can look it up and then talk about it in the podcast. But someone is itching to ask, why is she
just
here?
waited.
What is going on? I couldn't, because you keep bugging me. I'm like, hold on. Okay, give me a sec. I'm going to think. I'm going to look it up. And then that's it.
You didn't have to answer the questions. Like, let's talk about it after. I'm like, okay. He still went with it. But anyway, yeah, you're right. It would have been a good conversation here. Yeah, but Gamora was a big hook, but knowing she's going to come into season 2, there will be a season 2 in general. Oh, that's cool. What I well, you could already answer my question because it makes sense. Because I'm going to say, why didn't he just choose Captain Marvel? But if he knew what was to come, then it makes sense. It makes sense to me. Why Killmonger was chosen, and then how he was imprisoned in that prism with who was the doctor or scientist?
Zola.
Yeah, Zola.
Yeah. One thing too that stood out to me is the Infinity Crusher, the Gamora's tool to destroy all the Infinity Stones. Here's my thought. Here's my thing. As powerful as Infinity Stone, as they are, I don't think it's possible. Okay, I know this is a show, this is a comic book, but as powerful as they are, I don't think there's any weapon in the whole universe and multi-universe that is able to destroy an Infinity Stones unless it's it's in its own Infinity Stone.
A identical Infinity Stone, or it's just an Infinity Stone?
No, like the whole Infinity Stones in itself.
I think that was the concept. The way I understand it, that machine was powered up by a Infinity Stone to destroy the Infinity Stone. But according to the reason here why they didn't destroy is that the uniqueness of this stone, it won't be destroyed
No. Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
That was mentioned in the show that they didn't destroy it because Gamora's is in a different multiverse.
Right, exactly.
But my point is,
There shouldn't be.
In Infinity War, they destroyed, or Thanos destroyed the stone by snapping and using the whole stones itself to destroy itself. You know what I mean?
Right.
But with this one, it's not using the whole stone. It's just powering up the tool using the stone. So the stones were destroyed not because of the Mind Stone, or no, it was the Soul Stone. Not because of the Soul Stone itself. It was destroyed because of the Infinity Crusher. Which and this is my dilemma was, as powerful as they are, I don't think there should be any other form of weapon that could destroy an Infinity Stone.
I see your point.
Let alone 6 Infinity Stones. Right? Unless you're a Celestial or Eternals, then probably you could be able to do that because you're powerful and you created it. You know, so I think that's one thing that it didn't make any sense to me, and I feel like it's more of a stretch because if you're a director and an artist, you can do whatever you want. You know, like you can make a being that could destroy Infinity Stones by, I don't know, by saying a word. You know, because you're a creator.
Fair.
But in trying to make sense everything in line to the movies, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, this is just a weapon. It's just a tool. I don't know. It's hard to comprehend that idea that you have this all powerful not entity, but all powerful stones that can be destroyed by a man-made or human-made tool. Like, even the Infinity Gauntlet was broken after Thanos used it, and
it makes
snapped.
sense.
You know what I mean?
It makes sense. But that's a big what if here.
Right, and that's why, and that's why in the whole what if episodes we have been trying to make everything sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How everything started. And how the what if aligned with the original timeline.
Since we're on that topic, one who was possessed, though it wasn't Captain Marvel, one who was possessed with some affinity of the Infinity Stone was zombie Wanda, which was no help at all. She was just a...
No, I think... Okay, so this is why I think she's no help. Do you have an answer to that? Okay, this is why I think she's no help. It's because she saw him as Vision.
You think so?
Yeah, because when she rose up, and then she looked at him, she had the shock on her face. It's like, huh? Yeah.
I thought it was because she was trying to do something, but there was no effect.
No,
and she was like, huh?
I really think it's because she saw him as Vision. You know what I mean? Because there's still the love thing going on between them.
Well, she's still, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's one possibility. I really thought it was apparent where she says, or not say anything. She's like trying to do something, but it didn't work. But okay, that's one.
A no help at all is Thor.
Oh man, he was an annoying character there.
He's no help. He's no help with this thunder thingy. Like, nothing. And okay, so if we're gonna talk about, my phone died. If we're gonna talk about someone who's all help, and even Ultron acknowledged it, the only person, the all-time MVP of this whole series is special in this episode, is thinking Doctor Strange. Like,
oh yeah,
they could have been defeated in like 5 seconds if Doctor Strange wasn't there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Doctor Strange was OP.
Yeah, he was buffing everybody, and
okay, so did you notice the shield that he built around them?
Yes.
Like the protection shield, it looks a lot like Eternal's power. The gold, and then the design, it looks like Eternals.
I haven't seen the shield from the Eternals.
No. So remember the Eternals trailer? When you look at the Eternals ability, they have the aura or whatever weapon they have in gold form, and it kind of looks like the Eternals.
Oh, that's dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's that powerful. He reached the Eternals level of power.
I would think it makes sense because he went so far in the past in his episode to learn so much aside from just absorbing mystical beings. He was reading books that wasn't found in his current time in that library. So I would assume there would be some kind of story of the Eternals there, or powers, or magic.
Not necessarily found, but more like destroyed or hidden or can't find anymore. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't know. A big part of it for sure is some of the entities that he absorbed.
Right.
Which, speaking of which, he absorbed the Ultron Vision's attack. Because remember that flashlight?
Crazy.
Just one flashlight, and then next thing you know, it's
that
gone.
Was dope.
And then he got it. That was crazy.
Like he absorbed it, like
gone.
That was sick.
I know, that was
that
crazy.
was like drop the mic kind of moves. Like, oh, that was really Doctor Strange.
Like, there's nothing really that all of these. Okay, so in that whole Guardians of Multiverse, right? Without Doctor Strange, who's the most powerful being in there?
It would have been.
It will be Thor. Right?
Yeah, but he was still useless.
Yeah, because Thor is the only one with a superpower ability. None of them do. Like you got T'Challa, which is just typical flying and shooting with a gun that is pointless to Ultron Vision. You have Killmonger with the whatever that shield, whatever that rock that they have in Wakanda.
Now I just totally forgot it now.
Vibranium. Vibranium. All I can think of is adamantium, but that was that's Wolverine's. Yeah, and then Gamora, she doesn't have any other abilities, and then of course Black Widow, but the rest are just, besides Doctor Strange, he's the one carrying the whole team.
Yeah, he was that foundation.
Yeah.
But
nothing else. I'll tell you this though, the whole fighting sequence of trying to grab the Soul Stone is way more better than the end game with the gauntlet. Yeah, it's way better. The fighting sequence was a lot better.
Yeah,
And Doctor Strange did a lot more than the Endgame. Because remember, Endgame, all he did was just stop the water
and multiply himself.
No, that's Infinity War. Talking about Endgame.
Stop the water.
Yeah, because remember the dam broke.
Oh.
And then someone said somebody needs to stop that, so he did that and stop it. That's all he did. That's exactly all he did.
Yeah, this Doctor Strange is really like up here.
Way powerful. Way that dude was way powerful. I have some in my notes. There's only a few in my notes. So he absorbed it. He got the ability, and then he fought him. Zola showed up, and then with Killmonger fighting. I forgot what else. I only have 2 left in my notes.
Yeah, I mean there was not much because this
when I'm sorry to interrupt you. When they're doing the when Scarlet Witch showed up, right? And I think it's after they thought they took the Infinity Crusher and destroyed the stone, and all of a sudden Ultron / Vision showed up. They have this panning of camera. It's the first Avengers.
Oh yes,
it's the very first Avengers, because you can see Scarlet Witch. Why am I keep saying Scarlet Witch? Black Widow got the gun, and then the Thor flipping of the Mjolnir.
Yeah,
and it's basically same thing. It's the panning. It's like this is the first Avengers.
Yeah, that's the first thing that.
That's why I had to stop and go back. I'm like, let me see that again, and that's what I noticed.
Because I guess they don't represent anybody in the current Avengers, right? It was just the panning itself that resembles the Avengers.
That's it.
Because I was trying to say, are they in the order how it was in the current Avengers? Because Iron Man was the first one, and then it was Hulk, I think. No. Well, anyway, I thought there was a sequence resembling the first Avenger. But yes, that's what I thought about. I thought that was pretty cool. And what did you feel about the fight scenes? Not the fight scenes, the end scene for getting rid of Thanos. Thanos, I mean, I'm mixing it with
Vision Ultron.
Yeah, Vision Ultron.
At first, when when Black Widow got the arrow with Zola in it, I had to think, what was that arrow for? Like, what's in it? Is it a virus? What virus is it? And then it dawned on me, oh, it was Zola. That's right. But the whole thing on how they executed that whole fight scene was good, because the one who hopped on top of Vision was, who was it? It wasn't.
It was Captain Carter.
It was Captain Carter. That's right. It was Captain Carter. Yeah, going on top of that whole thing, especially in the end, that was really good. That was well done. The whole fight scene was actually well done. And of course, it's animated, so you can do whatever you want with it.
Well, true.
You know what I mean? Unlike live action, they can only do so much CGI to play that out. But this one is animation, so it's good. But the whole fighting scene was really nice. It was really great.
Yeah, the ending of Ultron was cool, but then I thought that, and my heart was set. It was like, oh, it's the end, cool. But then there goes Killmonger coming in, trying to betray the team, trying to take advantage of what. Where did he get that head from?
It was the head that someone was fighting. It's Thor. It was Thor. In the party, Thor, he was fighting the Ultron, mini Ultrons.
And he brought a head with him?
Yeah, he got the head with him, because he attacked someone, he grabbed the head, and then he started walking. When the Watcher talked to him, he has the head, and then he handed it to Killmonger while he was talking.
Okay. I was trying to think, what is Killmonger doing with the head? Like, how does that connect to him?
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Okay. And then he took advantage of it, and then there goes Zola, right? Taking advantage of him coming back to life as the dead Ultron Vision. And I just felt that
by now it's probably more appropriate to call it Ultra Vision.
Ultron Vision.
No, Ultra.
Ultra?
Vision. Yeah, Ultra
Fair.
Vision.
Ultra Vision, Ultra Plus. No, that's plus Ultra, right?
Plus Ultra, yeah.
Yeah, Ultra Vision and Killmonger. So they were going at it with Zola. I'm like, okay, the ending is done. Can we just settle it? And then like a little bit extra had to go on.
You kind of have to end the Zola arc, because it's like, okay, so he took over the Ultra Vision body, but how are you gonna end that from there? You know. And then you also want to end the Killmonger arc, which the only way to end Killmonger arc besides that is to make him good. Like, it turned out to be good, that, you know, which it's actually kind of what do you call this, hopeful, that you thought he's changing as soon as he got the armor and the stones.
Right.
It's like, we're here to save the whole multi-universe because they need us. So we have this opportunity to do it, and then turn out actually not.
No,
like,
he was trying to take it back.
Yeah.
And then I just felt that was a very your favorite word, anticlimactic ending for the enemy to be done, because there's like no one dead, no one's.
Oh yeah, it is anticlimactic because nothing. They were just in the prism.
Yeah, they were in a prism, stuck in their little time of trying to see who will win, of absorbing the stones. I'm surprised he didn't rip that off.
I know. I thought the camera was panned to you, so I didn't. So I started drinking. But I think my favorite, the whole fighting sequence, my favorite thing, cause, and you know me, when it comes to movie, I want to know what's gonna happen next. So you have this plot, that happened to them. So I'm trying to think in director's point of view, how are you gonna settle this big plot of them getting stuck or dying or things like that? How are they gonna revive? You know, is there gonna be a Captain Marvel who's gonna save him? Is there gonna be a Hulk who's gonna save him? I'm talking about the when Ultron used the Time Stone to slow-mo them while Captain Carter was about to grab the Soul Stone, right? I was trying to think like, okay, in that few seconds, I'm trying to predict what is the director gonna do, or the writer, or whatever, and then I didn't realize that Doctor Strange also has a Time Stone. That's why he's the only one who wasn't slow mode. Yeah, because he has the Time Stone. I was like, oh, that was genius. That was genius. That was phenomenal. That was good.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I remember now.
Yeah.
No one else had a stone in that group, right?
No, not at all. Because even was Gamora was trying to make the Infinity Gauntlet, or melting the Infinity Gauntlet. I think she was melting the Infinity Gauntlet.
She was.
Yeah.
But I didn't see any stones on it.
No, nothing. No stones.
So she was trying to.
So nobody else has stone besides Doctor Strange, which was already super powerful. Without the Time Stone, because he never used the Time Stone except on that time.
That moment. Yeah, that's right. Because in all of.
Here's my problem. Speaking of the Time Stone, since Doctor Strange has the Time Stone all this time, right? All this time, then what's the point of trying to grab the Soul Stone? Like, because they didn't know, right? They didn't know at first. They didn't know that the Infinity Crusher won't work on Ultra Vision, because the Infinity Crusher only works in Gamora's timeline, right?
Right.
They didn't know that at all. They just need the stone to power the tool.
Right.
Why didn't they just use Doctor Strange stone?
I think it's because it's called the Soul Stone. I think the Soul Stone gave and this is my concept. I might be wrong.
Yeah, but they never talked about they needed the Soul Stone though.
And this is me trying to make sense of why they need it, because it's called a Soul Stone, so I'm assuming it has its own soul to move and to generate itself, to do what it needs to be done. But then again, it's a machine, so it just needs power.
And that's what they needed for the machine to work. And then just T'Challa just so happened to snag the Soul Stone. He could have grabbed any other stone besides, the Mind Stone, because he can't steal that.
I don't know. Maybe we may have missed something, but yeah. And,
we just didn't miss anything. We just realized that was a plot hole of not Doctor Strange not giving him his own Time Stone to power the tool. He might just be, I don't know, because if they realize that the Infinity Crusher can only works in certain timelines, then they wouldn't have stolen the Soul Stone or any of any of Ultra Vision's stone. And if what you're saying is correct, that it's only the Soul Stone that works, why? Like the stones, I'm assuming the Infinity Stones don't have soul, so there's no reason for them to grab just if anything, it should have been the Power Stone than the Soul Stone. You know what I mean?
Right. And if you need something that has reason, it would have been the Mind Stone, right? But
wait, why the Mind Stone?
Because it has beyond knowledge and reason. That's how. Well, he wasn't too smart, but that's how he developed his character, right? Vision, the good Vision.
Yeah, but why the Soul Crusher? Why the Infinity Crusher to a Mind Stone? Because I'm saying it's gotta be the Power Stone, because it's about power. You need a certain amount of power to kill all these stones. You know what I mean?
What was the Power Stone used in the current?
It's just basically power. So
who used it?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, the first one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just forgot what it was used for.
That was in the orb.
Okay.
Yeah. And when they showed the video of the Celestials, it was the Power Stone that was in the staff and destroyed the people in that Earth or that planet.
That whatever planet. Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes more sense that it will be a Power Stone if that's the case. I don't know why it has to be the Soul Stone, but what I think is they just need the Infinity Stones to power the tool. Now we're going back to my case, that if that's the case, then why not just use Doctor Strange Time Stone? Anyway, So the ending was great. The second ending before the post credit scene, the second ending, or I guess the last ending before the post credit scene, we got the Black Widow going to the dead Avengers dead
that current
universe.
Yeah,
That's not our current universe.
I thought it was.
No. That was the
Oh.
Hank Pym, because they're all dead. Because remember the Watcher said, the Watcher said you're going to a universe that there's no Scarlet Witch, a Black Widow,
no Black Widow.
And she said this is why it's a chaos. That's why it's a chaos. That's why it's chaotic or something like that. And then Dr. Fury said, "You're not my Black Widow, but I like you," or something like that. Because he knows they're dead, they're gone.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was
Our current one.
a current one, but it doesn't make sense. And I don't think they will ever bring her back because of what she did.
Yeah, but they were fighting Loki though.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
They were fighting Loki, and this is not Loki in Avengers, because the Loki in Avengers is Loki with those,
No, that makes sense.
With those, what's the name of those aliens? I forgot the name of those aliens.
In Loki?
No, in the first Avengers.
First Avengers, no, it's not the Crow, it's the
It's not Skrull.
Yeah, it's Scrolls. Creed, Crow, Krug.
No, you're thinking about a different one.
Yeah, you're talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy people.
No, I'm talking about the first Avenger. Remember those monsters with mask, and they have the flying.
Yeah, they fall into that that category group.
Really?
Yeah, they came from. So Korg, is it Korg? Not Korg. Shoot, I forgot the name, but it's in that group. Where Loki came in from, it's from that team. I gotta look it up. I know what you're talking about. I just forgot the name.
You're talking about with because they were with Ronan.
Yeah, those are Ronan's empire, not empire, but his people ish.
Yeah. I don't think there were any of the.
What alien invaded?
The first Avengers movie.
First Avengers movie.
What are they? Because
I'm looking it up. Okay.
Chitauri. Yeah,
the Chitauri fleet.
Yeah.
Chitauri. Who did they come from? Chitauri fleet in space launching his invasion. Rogers. Okay.
So yeah, they're different kind of aliens. They're Chitauri. Because even Rocket mentioned it, that they're dumb. They're just dumb. They're idiots. He said they're idiots. So
okay, I missed those parts.
Yeah, they're not, because I think what you're talking about is in Guardians of the Galaxy, where they drop off the Power Stone, right? Is that what the people you're talking about?
No, so I'm not I'm not referring them as their race or their alien race. I was referring to them as like a cult. They were together. What are they called? Ronan's people, or the Kree.
Oh, Kree.
But yeah, according to here, it's a species. Also, Chitauri is different from Krees.
Yeah, Krees is a different planet. Krees where Captain Marvel came from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I thought Thanos had a hand on that. Because then Loki had a
no, that was totally Ronan. Those are totally Ronan's people.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, hold up. No, Thanos is with him. I think it is Thanos, because remember when he attacked Gamora's planet? It was the same people. They were the same people.
Okay, no, I'm really lost.
Yeah, those are the same people that attacked Gamora's planet and killed him.
The
Chitauris, yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, so they're not Ronan's people. They are Thanos.
Oh, I guess you're right.
But since Ronan worked for Thanos, so he would have an access to them.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, yeah, that makes sense.
So in that ending part, they weren't fighting the Chitauris. They were fighting Loki and Asgardians soldiers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's why. So if you notice, I say so all the time, but if you notice, And this last episode, it tied in all of the other episodes,
Right.
1 to 8, and that is the only episode. So you got Captain Carter, right? You got Killmonger, you got Gamora is
Yeah, she doesn't count.
Yeah, she doesn't count. Thor, yep.
You got T'Challa.
Yeah.
And then you got the one more.
Doctor Strange. Yep. And then you have the zombies when all the zombies fell in with Scarlet Witch. And then the only episode that wasn't included in that whole thing is the All Avengers Dead with Hank Pym, which is the ending.
The ending, the closing.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why it showed Captain Carter going back. I don't know the significance of that part.
No, she didn't go back.
No, because
Are you talking about the post-credit scene?
Yeah.
No, she didn't go back. She wanted to go back.
Oh no, what I mean is like going, why that scene was important, or why that scene was there of her going back.
Oh, because I think it's more like a, so all right, so she didn't want to leave, right? When she was in that room, because she looked at Steve Rogers' picture,
Right.
in her own universe, and she said, "Do I deserve my own happy ending?" Because she wants to go in a different multiverse where Steve Rogers is alive, so she can be with him.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So the Watcher said, he's basically saying there's a plan for everything.
Yeah.
Like a god's, like there's a reason for everything. So she went in that post-credit scene when she went to her own universe. They found the Hydro Buster or Hydro.
Yeah, the Hydro Buster.
Yeah. Which kind of makes Hydro Crusher, which kind of gives us a hint that Steve Rogers is sleeping in that suit, so he's still alive, and that's why the Watcher said, "Just be patient. There's a plan for you, and that's your happy ending."
Now, what I'm trying to at that time when I asked, but then I wasn't sure if it makes sense. Is this like a replacement of how Winter Soldier was preserved in time? Because if it's the same, if it's the Crusher, then yeah, I get it. But if it's Steve and the Crusher, wouldn't he be too old to be riding that thing now?
Yeah, true. Unless, because we never really know what happened.
Exactly.
Because the ending of the first episode was her disappearing, but Steve Rogers in the Hydro Crusher wasn't captured. He wasn't captured. He was just with them.
Right.
So we can assume that, I don't know, there's something happened that he basically just requested to be preserved, so when they found her again, they will revive him.
I wonder, this probably be a big what if, since Captain America was able to get his happy ending by going back in time. Like in his time, he was able to meet older Carter.
Yeah.
And was with her to her death until he had a chance to go back in time. Right? So I wonder if it's the opposite for Carter for this time. So instead of meeting an old Steve, it'll be the young Steve. Say the concept is they were because we don't know. They will preserve his body to the young Steve that they knew. And she will not go back. She will not need to go back in time. She will go forward in time with the Steve that they found.
But she was already in forward.
No, with the Steve that they just found, with the Steve Buster. Say that Steve is alive in there.
Yeah.
Preserved his younger self from 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Instead of doing what Captain America did, going back in time to have a happy life with the young Carter, if young Steve is here, she doesn't need to go back in time. She can presume time
with him.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's what I mean.
But I think that's what they're trying to say. Are you saying that she will quit? She will do the same thing that Captain Rogers did in Endgame?
No, my what I'm thinking is if that's what's happening, this Steve might be evil.
Oh, wait, why were you going with that?
Well, I was trying to think.
Was that just a what if?
A what if, yeah.
Oh, okay.
This might be an evil Steve. I don't know. I was thinking of it going with a happy ending.
That would be a lot more story to tell, because it's like how, like, first of all, of course, how he became evil, Like, you can't be evil just because your lover disappear. I mean, because who are you gonna blame? You're gonna blame the Tesseract? Oh, that could be it. That could be how he's preserved, is the Tesseract. Because he got the Tesseract. He got the Space Stone.
Oh, that's right.
Or the Space Stone.
Froze time in that machine.
Not necessarily froze time, because I don't think the Space Stone can do that. Transferred him. Like, teleported him into different era.
Oh no, Space Stone. Because he doesn't have the Time Stone.
Yeah. Teleported him to a different place.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, these are just big possibilities. I mean, I would have think
because we know that the Space Stone can travel in space, right?
Yeah, travel through space.
But what if it can travel through time too?
I think it can go into a dimension where it preserves time, or time is not affected. Because look at
Yeah, but remember the stones doesn't work in there.
No, she didn't go to. I'm talking
TVA.
about. Yeah,
you're talking about TVA.
No, I'm talking about Carter. What I'm saying is that she went into a world where that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Where the Hydra was actually, and she's
the champion.
Yeah, the champion. She's cutting, and it was just like seconds after defeating it, but it.
Yeah, because the what opened it is the Tesseract. That's right.
Yeah, the time stopped in there, but when it was reopened, she was 7 years in the future.
Yeah, but could be. It could be, yeah. So it traveled him through either space or either time or either in a different place, where time doesn't get affected.
I think the space and time Infinity Stones are a loophole.
Why?
Like what happened to her? She was frozen into a dimension. And Time Stone can... I don't know. I just feel like it's a stone. These, if they were used in a proper way, it can be a loophole. Because you mentioned, and what we think about time is weaker here, because we believe time is the most powerful ability that could ever be.
Way more powerful ability than anything else.
Here, they barely just did the tip of the iceberg. All they did was... rewinding and fast forwarding time, right?
Well, they also have the rewinding to an extent of Doctor Strange episode in What If, changing the course of time.
I feel like the Infinity Stone of the Time Stone could be more. It could be, if they knew how to use it, I guarantee it could have been a loophole. It's just my concept. I mean, what do you think? I mean, having them all together makes them all powerful, but I really feel that...
the Time Stone only worked dramatically when Doctor Strange fought Dormammu.
Yeah, that's the only time. But he had to read the spell for it. But when he read the spell and knew how it worked, he tweaked it to where it
No. He didn't. He didn't per se use the spell. He just used the stone. Like, to activate that power of the stone, you have to...
But in order for him to understand how to use the stone, he had to read the book. It's like, oh, this is what it does.
Well, yeah, because it's like... Because...
If we're gonna believe...
All right, listen. It's like Thanos. Remember when Thanos rewinded it? He had the same thing, but he never learned the spell. He just used the stone.
He used the stone.
Yeah.
Hey, you're right.
Yeah.
Thanos is something else. He's
well, because the same thing with Ultravision. No, you're right. You know? They didn't learn any spell. They just use it. It just activated.
True. I mean, I know I'm going through many stories here. Now, it did defeat our concept that there was another Watcher here, but this is the same Watcher. Because in the our last pod, we thought that we believe there might be multiple Watchers, but this Watcher here seemed like he knew what was happening, but he let it happen.
I don't know, man. Here's my thing. Okay, here's my problem with this stupid Watcher. He cannot make up his mind. Like, it's either you want to be part of it or not. Like, he keeps saying that, no, I cannot do anything with this. I cannot be part of this. But next thing you know, he's putting Black Widow in a different universe.
Yeah.
Like, make up your mind.
He broke his promise.
Like, none of this makes any sense. Like, okay, so I have my credibility of being a watcher, and I'm only here to watch. But next thing you know, you're recruiting these people to fight Ultravision, and then after they fought him, he got defeated. You go back in that, I don't want to be part of this. I can't touch. I can only watch. And then when all of them left, here comes Black Widow. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna put you in here because it will be awesome. Like, make up your mind. This is why he got a big head. Stupid. It don't make any sense. I don't know. And freaking thing is not even as powerful as Ultravision.
If he is a Celestial, I guarantee he is the very weakest Celestial.
I don't know. I bet you Doctor Strange could have just killed him. He could have just killed him easily.
He could have.
Like, the dude is so strong. Like, he's so strong that he can't even handle his own strength. Like, his own strength is killing him.
Right?
Because he's that strong.
I feel bad though. He was made to be used for being an eternal guardian of the two enemies in his hand.
Yeah. Which is crazy because he's like, these people are in a prism where he isn't also in a prism. Or watching these people who are in the prism. It's
pointless. I don't know what he can do. I mean, he's not human anymore. I was gonna say, how's he gonna, take care of himself, clean himself? And
I don't even think that matters anymore.
Not anymore.
I don't think you stink up. I don't think you get hungry in there. It's probably boring as.
I wonder if that's his own time prison.
That is a time prison. Like, you can't. There's nothing you can do in there.
I mean, what if he's gonna be like? What's his name? How he visits his best friend, who is also the worst enemy to have, Xavier and Magneto, where they had Magneto, imprisoned at the bottom of his prison cell. I know I'm going outside of this. What if? Long story short, I wonder if the Watcher, who knows where, Doctor Strange is, will visit from time to time and break his boredom, because man, he's all by himself in there.
Or he will just summon all these monsters and talk to them. Like, there's nothing really you can do in that prism, and his whole universe is destroyed. It's gone.
Well, he might be powerful enough to figure out he can watch time.
Yeah, he probably with the Watcher.
With the Watcher, yeah.
Because his whole prism looks like the prisms in the Watcher's multiverse, where he can watch all of them. And then that's basically it for that episode. It ended well. I like the ending of this show.
Yes.
Because as I mentioned in the previous pods, I hated all the endings. I hated the cliffhanger. The worst ending is Killmonger's ending.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's a huge letdown. Like, I want something good gonna happen here. I don't want Killmonger to win. Like, I want something good. But there's nothing. So it's like and they still didn't give us any.
Even the sneak peeks of what they were doing before what was it? Watcher was recruiting them. Like, apparently, as you saw, Wakanda was in war. Like, do you remember that part?
Yeah.
As if I think that was his losing moment. Do you think that was his losing moment
with Killmonger?
Yeah, for Killmonger. And what was happening in all that before we ended? What was happening in each moment before the Watcher took them?
So with the Killmonger, there was a war, but I don't think he's losing. I think he just because he could still easily defeat Shuri because he's the Black Panther. Like, he
was still wearing his suit.
Yeah, he can still defeat him. With Gamora and Ultron, with Gamora and Tony Stark, they're trying to melt the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
With T'Challa, he's saving Star-Lord.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because
that's
Ego
right.
was absorbing his body.
We were thinking that Ego was going to
That would be a good guy and be buddy with him. And,
yeah, well, use him or buddy with him, but ruling the world kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
with him.
He straight up just went to his son. It's like, you're my kid.
Yeah, did the same thing that he did when he was in Ego's planet.
Yeah, he had more of the advantage this time.
Yeah, because he couldn't do anything. He doesn't have any other friends.
Right.
So what else? The Captain Carter.
Captain Carter was in a mission.
Right, he was in the mission. Same mission in
Captain
Winter
America.
Soldier. Winter Soldier.
Was it in the movie Winter Soldier? I thought it was the
Civil War. It was Civil War. It was Civil War. That was Civil War.
Oh yes, okay, yeah, you're right. Civil War.
Yeah, that was Civil War. Wait, is it?
It's Winter Soldier.
It's Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it's got to be Winter Soldier. And
then
after of course Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
and
Doctor
then
Strange.
Thor was fighting
in Vegas.
Yeah.
And his favorite word, Vegas, not lightning.
No, Viva la Vegas. Viva la Vegas.
Viva la Vegas.
Yeah, that's his favorite word.
Oh man, he was annoying.
All right. Before we go to our next segment, which is we're gonna rate all of these, all of the what ifs episodes. From worst to best, excluding the last episode, which is episode 9. I'm gonna do my hot take in real life.
Wait, I thought this is the what if rating. Is that the hot take?
No. I said before we do our ratings.
Go ahead.
He's not listening, which is ironic because he's wearing a headphone. Like there's no other things he could be hearing right now besides my voice.
All right, go.
Okay, hot take in real life. You should be listening to me. I'm just kidding. Hot take in real life. You're supposed to say hot take IRL. That's your cue.
Hot take IRL.
Okay, hot take in real life. Here you go. Hot take. When you're on a date, it's better to sit right next to your date than across from your date. And I know people might say, "Oh, you are a psychotic. You have mental problems. You can't be trusted if you're sitting right next to your date, instead of sitting across from your date." Here's the thing. Okay, we are on a date. Okay, we're on a date. Now, I'm not talking about first date. First date, everything is gonna be awkward, no matter what. Either you're sitting right next to this person or across from this person. That's gonna be awkward. So I don't suggest anything. Like, you can do whatever you want because that's a first date. Whatever move you want to do it. If you want to sit on that person's face, I don't even care. That's probably your play. But here's my thing: if you're married to this person or if you've been dating this person for a very long time, right? My hot take is it's better to sit right next to that person on the table when you're in the restaurant than across from them. I have multiple reasons. I'm going to give you some of the reasons. First reason, right? It's more intimate. It's more intimate to be with that person because this is a date. It's not, I don't know. It's not, what's a less intimate thing? It's not.
Okay,
I don't know.
We get it. It's more intimate.
It's more intimate. You're right next to your person. And second, conversation would be much better because you're right next to the person. It's like, this is why when you watch podcasts, when you do podcasts with people, it's better to sit right next to the person because it gives better communication with him or her. It's much easier. Everything is much easier. Third, if you're a person who loves to share food, he loves to share food with your partner, especially if you're sharing food. If you're right next to that person, it's much easier to just grab the food, instead of just across. Now you're trying to reach, if you're trying to be sweet, if you're that person and trying to be sweet and you're trying to feed your partner, it's much harder to do it across, but it's easier to do it right next to the person, right? And fourth, if your partner cannot be trusted, right? Cannot be trusted at all, or they get distracted with their phones or watching shows. I don't know what they're doing. They can't be trusted. They're probably cheating on you. If you're sitting right next to your partner, right? It's much easier to stop them what they're doing. If they're texting someone else, if they're on Facebook or doing something else, it's much easier to do that and tell them, "Hey, stop, I'm talking to you," than across from that person. And second, if they're cheating on you, if they're doing something under the table, now they can't do that because they're right there. You can see whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? Instead of they're just across. And And I think that's it. That's my hot take. My hot take is when you're on a date with your boyfriend and girlfriend, or your wife and husband, wife or husband, it's much better to sit right next to them than across from them. Be that couple. That's all I'm saying. Be that couple, because I am that. We are those couple, not us two.
Yeah, but don't get mistaken. It's not us.
My wife and I mean, if we are a couple, it's gonna be the same thing. But
right?
my wife and I in the restaurant, we're like that. Especially if we don't have kids with us. If we have kids with us, that's a totally different story. But yeah, that's my hot take. Hot take in real life. Sit right next to your partner when you're on a date. It's more intimate. It's more loving. It's more secure.
Right.
It's more secure. It's more safe. It's more intimate. Because you're on a date. Like, do it. Just do that. All right, that's it. That's it. What do you think about hot take?
I'm enjoying this.
No. What do you think about that specific hot take?
I don't know, because I haven't got to that point yet.
Oh, okay.
Or yet again.
No, but if you did, you have to do that. That's gotta be your thing.
Well, maybe in a PH thing, but when it comes to us, big Samoan people or Polynesians, that's we do like elbow space.
That's true.
So we still can share each other from in front of each other. We can still reach each other to slap.
You just toss the food in the mouth. Say okay.
I mean, it might. Theoretically, his idea makes sense, but for big people like us, we like our elbow space.
All right. Okay, let's go to our last segment of this show, since this is the end of What If episode, and we can only do this in this specific show. We can't do it in WandaVision. We can't do it in Loki. We can't do it in Falcon and Winter Soldier, only because they're all continuating. There's a continuity in every episodes, but in this one's, a ton of them are just standalone episodes. Actually, all of them are, except for the episode 9. There are standalone episodes. So we're gonna rate them to the worst episode in our opinion to the best episode in our opinion. Let me premise this real quick. This is just our own opinion. If you're mad about it, I don't freaking care.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Wakka.
All right, so these are my ratings. From starting from the top being the best, the lowest.
Oh no, start from the worst.
Okay, from the worst. Okay, from the worst going to the top. All right, the worst episode that I was really cringing on, and I mean, AJ did help me out. They just have to shorten it out. Episode. I forgot to put that in. It's the one with Killmonger. What if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? All right, 7. What if Ultron won, which was the second to last episode. And then 6. Episode 4. What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? I had to put it at the bottom because, I mean, I did enjoy it, but it was too predictable. Verse 5. Episode 2. What if T'Challa became a Star-Lord? 4. Episode 7. What if Thor was an only child? I really enjoyed that one. That was fun. Episode 3. In place of 3. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes? Episode 2. Oh, not episode 2. Episode 5 will be in place of 2 because I just simply love them. What if zombies? And the very top is the very first episode. What if Captain Carter was the first Avenger? I really liked how it opened up the series. Captain Carter being deadly. Or deadly, I mean, just ruthless. She will throw her enemies around back and forth. But anyway, you can hear our details in all of our What If podcast series. But that's my listing.
Okay. All right. So I'm kind of have a same, not same, similar. That's redundant. I kind of have similar rating with you. So I'm gonna start with 8, and I have the same thing. Killmonger rescued Tony Stark. It was terrible. I hated the ending. The whole thing was so rushed.
Yeah.
And a ton of them didn't make any sense, and this is why they're gonna be in the lowest rating, because the continuity of the what if in relation to our own timeline does not make any sense. There's no connection or anything like that.
Right.
So my number 8 will be what if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark. My number 7 is the Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands, and this one it was boring. It was really boring.
Way too boring for this guy.
It was so boring that I fell asleep. So I really didn't like that, even though I saw the fight scene between the two Doctor Strange. I think the only redemptive thing about Doctor Strange was when Doctor Strange absorbing all those entities, and you found the champion, you found all these good entities in there, and that's the only reason why it wasn't in number 8.
I still believe Ancient One should have done nothing.
And then number 6 will be this is where we disagree. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes? Only because, and this is why it's number 6, only because the hope dying does not make any sense. It doesn't line up with the whole our own main timeline. That's not a good what if. It's not a good what if. It's just like what happened to Killmonger saving Tony Stark. Why is he there? Number 5 will be we have the same thing. It was T'Challa becoming the Star-Lord. That thing was just straightforward, and the reason why it was in mid tier, because we saw a good Thanos. We saw a good Thanos. That was the shocking part, and like, oh, this is awesome. Like, what? This is great. Number 4 will be Thor was an only child. Thor was an only child. I'm sorry. Let me go back. It was Ultron. Ultron winning. The reason why it was my number 4 was the reason why it was my number 4 because of the fight scene between Ultravision and the Watcher. That was epic. That was really good. I love that. I love the how they did that, and that goes with my number 3 is it was Thor was the only child, because there's a lot of cameos with other characters in there playing around, and he's just silly, and that's the reason why he's number 3 too, because he was just so silly. Like Thor became so, I don't know, obnoxious. And then of course number 2 and number 1 is the same thing. Number 2 will be the zombies because it was highly anticipated. It was so highly anticipated. Avengers comic books that wants to be in a movie, because we know that there's a comic book series of them being a zombie, so it was number 2. The reason why it wasn't number 1, because the Captain Carter episode was so epic. It was brutally epic. And we saw Captain Carter being brutal, and like she was literally killing people. She wasn't like, she wasn't pulling her punches. Like, no pun intended. She wasn't pulling her punches. She was doing it all out and throwing people off the plane and just letting them go and not saving them. It was good, and it was a really good a what if pilot episode. Kick off of the whole series. Like, there's a redemptive thing with this, because a lot of people got turned off by making the show animated, which we don't have any problems with that, because we like animation. So that's my top 8. No, that's my ratings of every episodes of What If. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And we're just looking forward to season 2, and how Gamora plays a role in the next part. Yeah,
and Steve Rogers in Captain Carter Multiverse.
Do you think any of those guys that was in season 1 will come back in season 2?
No. But I bet you we're gonna see the Thanos zombie. We're gonna see.
Oh, that's right, huh?
We're gonna see the ending of that zombie episode with the head of Ant-Man, legless T'Challa. We're gonna see. I don't think there's any other continuation for Doctor Strange series. There's no continuation for Killmonger. At least nothing that's worth it. What else?
This was the episode, the last one that came out. This is the episode that you saw that the Doctor Strange was going to meet up with Captain Carter, right? Whatever you saw that.
Yeah. I think it was one of the not trailers. It was one of the. It's not even a sneak peek. I don't know where I saw it, because I saw it in New Rockstar that they have the Doctor Strange and Captain Carter.
Yeah, that's where I think
clip.
we saw it.
Yeah. But that's it.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about the show? Let us know. Please comment down below, and join us in the next episode. We'll see you guys later in the next episode of the Maximum Filipino Show. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed in this channel yet, and you're already all the way here. Like, what are you doing? It takes 5 seconds. Like, literally, it takes 5 seconds. If you're using Wakka's computer, it probably will take a minute.
He's not lying.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Please help us, support us. We need new computers. It's not even a joke. Like, seriously, support us.
Yes.
But first of all, before you support us, subscribe to this channel. Tell your friends about us. If they love Marvel, if they love shows in general, they need some reactions to it, let us know. And then also tell us if there's anything that you want us to do, to talk about. Email us, themaximumfilipino@gmail.com, or comment down below. We'll see you guys later.
Late.
Tara.